Traditional fire math says I need $1,011,300 before I can stop working. Welcome back to another episode of Almost Wealthy. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and follow me on X for any new updates. But let's get into it. My number is $145,000. Same results, bills covered, paycheck untouched, 86% less capital. Here's the real math behind both numbers and why the gap between them is this big. So FIRE stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. The rule behind it is the 4% rule. Save 25 times your annual expense, withdraw 4% of the total every year, live off the withdrawals. The idea is the 4% is low enough that the portfolio keeps up with what you're pulling out, even through bad years for 30 years or more. My monthly bills is $3,371. Annually, $40,452. 25 times of that, let's round it to $1 million. That's the actual numbers for my actual expenses. If your bills are $2,000 a month, your number is small. If they're $5,000 a month, your number is big. The math scales with whatever you actually spend. For me right now, it's just over $1 million. Here's the part most explainers skip. The 4% rule isn't just save $1 million and you're done. It requires something specific. You stop working completely. The portfolio has to replace 100% of the income forever with nothing behind it. No paycheck, no side income, just the withdrawals. The withdrawal carries a risk that doesn't show up in a simple version of this math. It's called sequence of return risk. Say you retire with the number that's on the screen, just a little bit over $1 million, and the market drops 30% in your first 2 years. Your portfolio is now worth $7,700. You're still withdrawing 4% of your original target, roughly $40,000 a year, because that's what your bills cost. But now you're pulling that amount from a portfolio that's a third smaller. You're not withdrawing 4% anymore. You're withdrawing closer to 5.7%. Lose money early while pulling out that much, and it can wreck your portfolio for good. That's the entire reason the FIRE method pads the numbers as high as it does. $1 million for expenses isn't exactly enough. It's enough to survive bad timing while never earning another paycheck again. Now let's talk about the buy, borrow, dime method. In my spreadsheet, which I've showed in previous videos, my phase 10 target is $145,000. At that portfolio side, every bill I have, $3,371 a month, will be sitting on margin. Nothing comes out the paycheck for bills. Here's the math behind why $145,000 is enough in my situation. The blended portfolio yield is 5.23%. M1 finance borrow rate is 5.65% right now. My safe LTV target is 12% right now, but when I get to 145,000, it will go up. At 145,000 and a 12% LTV, the loan balance sits around 17,400. Annual interest on that 17,400 at 5.65% is about $983. Monthly, about $82. Annual dividend income on that 145,000 at 5.23% is about $7,583. Monthly, about $632. That's $632 a month in dividends, covering $82 a month in interest. That's almost 8 times over. The dividends don't just cover the loan, they bury it. The margin call threshold on the M1 is 40% LTV, and at that point, I'm running this at 12%. There is a wide gap between where I sit and where things would actually get dangerous. But here's the question that really matters. Why does the FIRE need $1 million and I only need $145,000 for what sounds like the same outcome? Because it's not the same outcome. With FIRE, that $1 million has to replace my entire paycheck, every dollar of income forever with no job behind it. My $145,000 doesn't replace my paycheck. I'm still working. I still get paid every 2 weeks. The portfolio only job at phase 10 is to take the bills off that paycheck, not to replace income. Just stop the bills from touching my bank account. And the freed up money, the part of my paycheck that I use to pay bills, gets redirected straight into the portfolio. So I'm not just paying bills with margin. I'm investing faster because I'm not paying bills with cash anymore. Now it stays and it compounds. There's another piece of this. The FIRE 4% rule is built around selling. You sell shares or the fund sells them for you through distributions to guarantee the cash you live on. Every time you sell and you lock in a gain, the IRS wants its cut. My margin loan isn't a sell. It's not selling SCHG or SCHD to pay the phone bills. I'm borrowing against them. No shares leave the portfolio. No capital gains tax gets triggered. The collateral keeps compounding while the loan gets serviced by the dividends. That's the structural difference between the mechanics. It's not just a smaller number doing the same job. But I also want to be fair and I want to be straight up about this. This isn't buy, borrow, die beats FIRE. It's not a competition. FIRE solves a different problem than the one I'm solving right now. FIRE answers this question, how much do I need to never work again? My phase 10 number answers a different question. How much do I need so my bills stop eating my paycheck while I keep working? Those are two different finish lines. If your actual goal is to quit your job completely and never earn another paycheck, $145,000 does not get you there. You still need something much closer to the FIRE number, or you'll need to keep climbing the buy, borrow, die staircase well past phase 10 into territory where the portfolio is large enough to replace income entirely, not just absorb bills. That's a much bigger number than $145,000. I'm not there yet, and I'm not claiming to be. What my phase 10 gives you is the freedom from your bills, not freedom from work. I'm not going to blur that line just so I can get a better video. If your goal is to retire completely, no job, no paycheck, fully self-efficient, off the portfolio, the FIRE number is the target. That $1 million for my exact expenses. More if the expenses are higher than mine, less if they're lower. That's the number built to survive a bad market without you going back to work. If your goal is to get your bills handled without touching your paycheck while you keep working, keep earning, and keep investing the difference, that's phase 10. $145,000 for my expenses, a fraction of the FIRE number because it solves a fraction of the problem. Here's why I think phase 10 matters, even if your real goal is eventually hitting the FIRE number. Most people that chase FIRE give up somewhere in the middle. 1 million feels impossible from where most people are standing. Phase 10 is a number you can actually see coming. And once you're there, your paycheck is compounding faster than it ever was because the bills aren't slowing it down. That acceleration is what eventually closes the gap towards a bigger number if that's the direction you want to go. So you have two numbers, 1,011,300 for FIRE, full income replacement, never work again, 145,000 for the buy, borrow, die phase 10 strategy that I'm working on. Bills off the paycheck, still working, still earning. Same family of strategy, different finish line. The math isn't a trick, it's just solving a smaller problem first. If you want to follow my climb to 145,000 in real time, subscribe. I post every week, real numbers, no fluff, and I will see you on the next one.